What is the definition of done, DoD, in Agile? Hi viewer. Hope you must have gone through my previous article, DoD in Agile. Now, we'll discuss on the definition of done, or DoD, which is a particular category of working commitment. It apprehends the shared compassion of a team about what done refers to them in various projects like IoT projects, machine learning project, ASP.NET projects, mobile app projects, ChatGPT, cloud project and many more. Profitable project can be expected whenever you have implemented DoD-based Agile application. Enhancement of performance capacity of the members is possible when you would like to adapt some latest Agile project management application. The theory of the definition of done came to be prominent throughout the Scrum framework. Scrum Guide on DoD. As per Scrum Guide, DoD develops transparency by contributing everyone a shared knowledge of what work was accomplished as part of the improvement. If a product does not fulfill the DoD definition of done, it cannot be published, or even illustrated at the sprint review. Instead, it returns back to the product backlog for forthcoming consideration. Many teams speculate their DoD to be kind of a checklist to ensure they have wrapped all the essential needs before announcing that an item is accomplished. This also indicates that the DoD eventually illustrates a quality review for the team. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Technology Crowds. What is the role of DoD in SAFe or different scaling frameworks? The Scaled Agile Framework, SAF, has no particular description of DoD, other than they concede and emphasize its presence. Eventually, SAFe comprises of a bigger number of Scrum, or Agile teams, thus it also stimulates the basic doctrines of Scrum. For each scale strategy to develop a product, that is multiple teams performing together on a single product, it is suggested that these groups run in a synchronized approach, and share the crucial portions of a DoD. Any team can put in more elements to their DoD, but no team should provide items that different teams do not contemplate as accomplished. Importance of DoD. The time one begins performing in a team, it is crucial to develop a shared compassion around numerous things. Any team needs to be worked on the vision, mission of the same team. Any team needs to have co-made working responsibilities in place, and DoD will be prepared accordingly. Hence, the above shared knowledge of done allows various people working on several items, but still providing impressive quality and user-friendly. It also brings outcomes in streamlining the onboarding procedure of new team members. Moreover, it gives rise to cross-team affiliation in a scaled project environment much simpler. And eventually, it makes sure that the job of every team and its members meet the need of the company or institutions. Creation moment of DoD. It is proposed that teams often make their DoD ASAP, and before the first sprint planning. Generally, it is ridiculous to align on how much task a team can snatch into a sprint, without an intimated knowledge of done. However, if a team is not interested to create a DoD before the first sprint planning, they will definitely realize through the sprint, or later in the sprint study, that the outcome quality they have been transporting is not compatible, and most likely does not fulfill stakeholder goals. Who creates the DoD in Scrum? Different parties are participated in the building of the DoD. Eventually, it is the profession of the Scrum team to formulate this shared knowledge. They need to assess intake from different stakeholders in order to fulfill their objectives. A typical DoD includes replies to the following questions: can we meet the business needs? Can we have a uniform quality? As an illustration, a DoD could be as follows: all acknowledgement criteria are fulfilled. All essential tests have been satisfactorily accomplished. We have got numerous inspection of the work. All essential documentation has been organized. Product owner has surveyed the outcome and is satisfied. As per the domain of assignment, teams can get longer as well as more pre-seed, and occasionally shorter or high-level DoD. In many cases, a DoD evolves over the timeline of a specific IoT or machine learning project. How DoD is different from DO? DoD relates to an item being completely built, i.e. accomplished. Adverse to that, the DO explains the need of an item being decent enough, so that a team can begin performing on it. Also, DoD is illustrated in the Scrum framework, whereas the DO is not. This is an awesome teams can include. There are general pros and cons of accomplishing that. DO catches the shared knowledge of the steps a team desires to snatch to make sure an expectation is well interpreted, and a team can grab it into their successive sprint. Many teams utilize the ideal strategy, having acronym INVEST as their DO. I means independent, and DO as the item independent, or have assessed dependencies in our important procedure. N means negotiable, and this explains about relaxation facility on the item. V means valuable N, knowledge of the value we are making for our users. A means estimable, and can we compute the effort that delivers this item. S means sized suitably, and does it fit into our specific sprint, or do we find options of formulating it smaller. T means testable, and do we understand what is anticipated from us, that is, have we predicted, documented the acknowledgement norms. This is one of strategies to develop a DO. The most crucial aspects are that no article or item is being begun to function on without the team discussing it. Alteration time of DoD. Both the DoD and the DO should be examined and adapted annually. Does this refer to we refine them in each sprint? No. But over duration teams will understand that they should revise their DoD. To provide you a solid example from one of our own projects. A few years ago we began to develop a job portal. In the beginning desktop system was used only. We understood that 72% of our traffic was arriving through mobile equipment. So we consumed a complete sprint to change all current pages and enable them mobile responsive. This expectation then shifted into our DoD, so that moving forward every time we constructed a new site, we instantly make it mobile responsive. Advantages of DoD. DoD is a formal description of the state of the increment when it meets the quality measures required for the product. The time a product backlog item matches the DoD and growth is produced. DoD assists you reduce the delay probability, as the defined steps in DoD produce on-time feedback directing you to control all the recognized risky items by examination, adaptation and development at an initial stage. DoD creates transparency by providing everyone a shared understanding of what work was accomplished as part of the increment. If a product backlog item does not meet the DoD, it cannot be released or even presented at the sprint review. Instead, it returns to the product backlog for future consideration. If DoD for in growth is portion of the principles of the organization, all Scrum teams ought to follow it as a minimum. If it is not a managerial norm, the Scrum team must develop a DoD suitable for the specific product. The developers need to make sure to the DoD. If there are different Scrum teams participating together on a specific product, they ought to define mutually and acknowledge with the same DoD. Over time, DoD will contribute to a team's working speed by ensuring work isn't redundant and the transmittable state of the item or app environment matches user story requirement and market goals. DoD affects the quality of an agile project. Agile workflow procedures are innately flexible, but also results-oriented. Experienced Scrum and Agile teams work through this flexible method of working, but are also aligned on shared purposes and dedicated to providing the best apparent product as soon as feasible. DoD supports and evaluates this agility. How to obtain your DoD? We talked briefly of the risks of perfect achievement and indifference. Both can arise from failing to interpret DoD, and both outcome in a downfall to launch. Several teams and stakeholders may give birth to various ideas of what done seems like, but it's significant to cooperate and negotiate to attain a consensus on acknowledgement criteria for every user story, aspect, or problem and clutch every team member responsible to those norms. These needs must be apparent, actionable, and constantly available. Why do some adopt anti-DoD method? The main reason behind adopting anti-DoD method is lack of knowledge about the significance of DoD. In most instances, whenever DoD is eliminated, it nibbles the project progress and quality. The training on Agile and Scrum helps the project team members to comprehend the significance of DoD and the system to implement it. Hence, do not take risk and utilize DoD as a Scrum tool for enhancing quality, reducing delay probability, and developing confidence with all the stakeholders. Project management courses. Following courses are recommended: Agile Trainings, Certified ScrumMaster, Kanban System Design, Certified Scrum Product Owner, Certified Agile Leadership, Product Roadmap, Scrum Board. How to use DoD in Scrum. 1. Make DoD necessary. To accomplish the project on given time, it is advised to pursue DoD in each sprint checking. Go through DoD for each product backlog item to prepare it, front and center, for the stakeholders and team members. It will organize excellent comprehending, with joint trust between the product owner, project development team, and other stakeholders. 2. DoD checklist. Utilize DoD as a checklist for every product backlog item. By going through the comprehensive checklist up to the achievement, continue for the next step. 3. Turn DoD the tasks oriented. Make a particular task for every DoD element, to make sure that you're more concentrating on DoD items. Tasks are much simpler to handle, by controlling the broadened DoD checklist. 4. Include PO to inspect DoD, at mid-sprint. Expand the culture of displaying product backlog item, to PO at mid-sprints. It enables PO to understand DoD status. A. Regression testing. Regression testing makes sure that new characteristics don't smash current functionality. It's significant because, if you're putting in something new, you have to ensure it doesn't intrude with anything else inside your system. If you're not doing this, you'll surely end up with bugs in your request that could result in issues. B. Smoke testing. Smoke testing is conducted before a feature moves for production. It judges how well the system performs and detects potential problems before they spread widely across all users. 5. Code is documented. It implies that the codebase retains clear, considerable comments, and all relevant data about the stored code in a system that other developers can admit on the team. 6. Assist in update of documentation. It encompasses anything from the documentation on how to utilize a characteristic to documentation on repairing bugs in the item. If you alter one portion of the code that influences its functionality or posture, that modify requirements to be documented. In the assistance documentation, it confirms that users possess the latest correct information about utilizing software product powerfully. 7. Implement DoD with retrospective approach. Often be ready to boost and investigate the probability to make the procedures more powerful. Inquire of different Scrum teams for creative concepts that enabled them, and explore the usefulness of tips that are shared in the line of your program. 8. Stakeholders grant the characteristic. Ultimately, before captioning something as finalized, or under the DoD, it should be authorized by stakeholders, including executives within the same organization, and outside clients who are financing projects. Conclusion. Hope everyone now must have a better idea about DoD in the field of project management, or project development. You can imagine now how DoD helps software companies, at the time of conducting mega projects. Stakeholders, or funding company will be relaxed to trust on development team, because of the presence of DoD in agile method.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe.